All right, get ready because today we are diving deep into how B2B companies can use ChatGPT to completely transform their social media strategy.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
We've got some interesting research here.
Oh, yeah.
It's from a podcast episode called ChatGPT for B2B marketing.
Okay.
And they talk about 10 major ways ChatGPT can revamp a company's online presence.
Wow, 10.
We're going to unpack all of them.
Awesome.
Imagine getting personalized content recommendations, crafting a super consistent brand voice, and a whole lot more.
It's really not just hype, you know? What's really interesting is how ChatGPT is going from this, like, cool new tech to a must-have for B2B marketers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's happening fast.
So, okay, let's just start with the most obvious use case. Content creation.
Right.
Every business out there is struggling to keep up with the content monster.
I would tell me about it.
But imagine using ChatGPT to just create a steady stream of blog posts, keep those social media feeds alive, and even produce those in-depth white papers,
Yeah.
the ones that your audience actually loves.
I think what's really key here is that it's not just about quantity, it's about that strategic consistency, you know?
Yeah.
The research actually highlighted a software company using ChatGPT to basically create a whole content ecosystem.
Oh, wow.
They had a weekly blog series on best practices,
Okay.
then monthly white papers diving into industry trends,
Oh, that's cool.
and get this, daily social media posts that actually highlighted customer success stories.
Wow.
Talk about a well-oiled content machine.
That's wild. Okay, but content is only as good as the engagement it gets, right?
Right.
So how does ChatGPT actually help create social media posts that, like, stand out
Yeah.
and grab attention?
Well, one of the things that they talked about in this podcast was how ChatGPT can, like, tap into trends, all those trends that are swirling around online, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine being able to, like, feed it information and have it spit back really timely and relevant content ideas.
Okay.
It can even help create those interactive things, you know?
Yeah.
Like polls and quizzes.
The things that people want to click on.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff that people actually want to interact with.
So it's not just about broadcasting messages, right?
Right.
It's about using ChatGPT to actually jumpstart conversations
Yeah.
and build actual relationships with your audience.
Exactly. It's about meeting them where they are, whether that's crafting thought leadership pieces on LinkedIn,
Right.
or maybe keeping up with those quick, witty updates on Twitter,
Yeah.
or even giving people a glimpse of, like, your company culture on Facebook.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about customer service?
Oh, good point.
B2B companies are all about those long-term relationships, right?
Absolutely.
Customer service is like a huge part of that.
Yeah, it's essential.
So how does ChatGPT fit in there?
The podcast really highlighted how ChatGPT can step in here too.
Oh, cool.
Imagine being able to provide instant responses to, like, common questions on social media.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Effortlessly directing users to the right resources. Or even handling, like, those basic support inquiries
Well, that's cool.
that can, like, really clog up your team's time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, sometimes it can be hard to get to those right away.
So it's almost like having like a 247 customer service rep
That's a great way to put it.
ready to answer questions and keep those customers happy,
Yeah.
even when your team is,
Off the clock.
off the clock. Exactly.
Yeah, they gave a really good example of a sauce company that was using ChatGPT-powered chatbots.
Oh, interesting.
They were using these chatbots on their LinkedIn and Facebook pages.
Okay.
So customers could get quick answers to, those common questions about features, pricing, support,
Okay.
and it freed up their human team to really focus on those more complex issues that need a personal touch. You know what I mean?
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets really interesting to me.
Okay.
What about staying ahead of the curve?
Ooh, good question.
In the B2B world, things move fast.
Yeah.
Trends change all the time,
Absolutely.
and it's hard to keep up.
It is.
So can ChatGPT help with that?
The research really digs into how ChatGPT can be a game changer here.
Oh, right.
Imagine having a tool that can, like, sift through all this data.
Right.
Mountains of data from social media, news articles, industry reports, and it actually, like, identifies emerging trends.
Okay.
Think of it as a digital finger on the pulse of your industry.
Okay. So instead of playing catch up, a B2B company could use ChatGPT to actually anticipate what's coming next,
Yeah.
and adjust their strategy accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They could be proactive
Yeah.
instead of reactive.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, they gave the example of like a financial services firm using ChatGPT to track trends in fintech,
Oh, okay.
regulatory changes, market movements, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they take that information, they
Yeah.
share those insights with their audience, position themselves as like thought leaders.
Oh, that's smart.
So they become that go-to source for what's happening now.
So they're not just selling.
Yeah.
They're like educating
Exactly.
and building trust
Yeah.
by providing valuable information.
Exactly. And that ties into another really powerful use for ChatGPT.
What's that?
Personalized content recommendations.
Oh, cool.
Instead of taking this one-size-fits-all approach,
Right.
imagine being able to analyze user behavior and then suggest content that's tailored to those different audience segments.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, giving them what they want before they even know they want it.
So it's about getting the right message to the right person at the right time.
Bingo.
Okay. So that should lead to higher engagement
Absolutely.
and a more, loyal following.
Right, because you're giving them what they want when they want it.
Okay, but I'm curious about the practical side of things.
Okay.
We all know social media campaigns can be complex.
Tell me about it.
A lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on.
It can be a beast.
Can ChatGPT help B2B companies manage all of that?
Absolutely. The podcast really highlighted that.
Like-
They talked about how ChatGPT can be used to brainstorm campaign ideas,
Okay.
creating content calendars,
Oh, yeah.
and even providing performance analytics.
So it's like having a built-in campaign manager.
Yeah, kind of like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so instead of feeling overwhelmed by all the logistics, a B2B company could use ChatGPT to plan and execute,
Yeah.
a really complex multi-channel campaign.
Like for a new cybersecurity solution or something like that?
Exactly. They gave the example of an IT company
Cool.
using ChatGPT to handle everything from content creation
Okay.
all the way to performance tracking for a big campaign.
Wow.
So it really streamlined their whole process and made sure everything was coordinated and effective.
That's incredibly efficient.
It is.
Okay, but let's not forget about SEO.
Oh, right. Good point.
In the B2B world, getting found online is everything.
Absolutely essential.
Can ChatGPT help companies boost their search visibility?
One of the things the podcast talked about was how ChatGPT can be used for keyword optimization.
Oh, that's cool.
So by identifying relevant keywords,
Right.
and seamlessly integrating those into social media posts, blog articles,
Yeah.
all sorts of content, it can help them improve their search rankings and drive more organic traffic.
So it's like having a built-in SEO expert.
Yeah, helping you speak the language of your target audience.
That's really smart. But we've talked a lot about what ChatGPT can do.
Right.
How does it actually work? What's going on, under the hood?
Well, it's all based on something called a large language model.
Okay.
Essentially, it's been trained on this massive data set of text and code.
Okay.
So it can actually understand and generate human-like language.
Wow.
It can process information, identify patterns, and respond to prompts in a way that kind of mimics human conversation.
So it's like having a super intelligent research assistant who can, sift through tons of information and make it understandable.
That's a great way to put it. And the thing is, it's constantly learning and improving
Right.
as it is exposed to more data.
Okay.
It gets even better at understanding and responding to those complex requests.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's really interesting technology.
Okay. One thing I'm wondering about, though,
Okay.
can ChatGPT learn to understand and replicate a company's brand voice?
That's a great question, and the podcast actually addressed that.
Oh, perfect.
Imagine, feeding ChatGPT your brand guidelines,
Okay.
your target audience, core values, tone of voice,
Right.
even your visual style.
Oh, interesting.
You're essentially, giving it the DNA of your brand.
So it's like giving ChatGPT a crash course in your company's personality.
Exactly. And once it absorbs all that information,
Yeah.
it can help ensure that everything you put out on social media aligns with your brand.
So whether it's like a tweet or a LinkedIn post or even, a script for a video,
Yeah.
ChatGPT can help you make sure you stay on brand. That's super valuable, especially as a company grows
Yeah.
and has more people creating content.
Absolutely. Consistency is key.
But let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay?
We've talked a lot about content creation.
Yeah.
But what about the data side of things?
Right.
Can ChatGPT help B2B companies make smarter decisions based on data?
Definitely.
Okay.
One of the really powerful things about ChatGPT is its ability to provide really detailed analytics
Oh,
on social media performance.
okay.
So it can track engagement metrics, audience demographics, content effectiveness.
So basically all the info you need to understand what's working and what's not.
Exactly. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Okay, so instead of relying on gut feelings, B2B companies can use ChatGPT to make data-driven decisions about their strategy.
You got it. Data-driven decisions are the best decisions.
They gave a really cool example, I thought, of a manufacturing company using ChatGPT to analyze their social media campaign performance.
Oh, yeah. What'd they do?
And just see what resonated most with their audience.
That's cool.
And that allowed them to make data-driven improvements to their content targeting.
Makes sense.
So it's not just a content machine.
Yeah.
It's also like a powerful analytical tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're just scratching the surface here.
Right.
As AI technology keeps advancing, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Well, this has already been a fascinating deep dive.
It
I
has.
feel like we've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah, we have.
but there's still so much more to explore.
So much more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to shift gears a little bit.
Oh.
We're going to look at some real-world examples
Oh, cool.
of how B2B companies are using ChatGPT to achieve really remarkable results.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good, so stay tuned.
All right, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Welcome back to the show. Last time we were diving deep into all the amazing things ChatGPT can do for B2B companies looking to level up their social media game.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of different strategies.
We did, and now it's story time.
Ooh, I like story time. We're going to look at some real-world examples of how these strategies are actually playing out,
Yeah.
showing how companies are using ChatGPT to get incredible results.
All right, I'm ready. Let's hear those success stories.
Okay, so let's start with this B2B software company
Okay.
that was feeling the content creation crunch.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
They had a small marketing team, a tight budget,
Right.
struggling to keep up with producing all that high-quality content.
All the blog posts, the social media updates.
Yeah, all of it.
That's a lot.
But this company decided to try out ChatGPT,
Okay.
and the results were amazing.
Really?
They started using it to generate blog post ideas
Oh, that's cool.
based on industry trends, customer pain points.
So they were using AI to figure out what people were actually searching for.
Exactly. They wanted to tap into those conversations that were already happening online.
That's smart.
And once they had a list of these hot topics, they
Yeah.
used ChatGPT to actually help them write the blog posts.
Wow, so they were like feeding information to ChatGPT
Yeah.
and it was spitting back like full-fledged articles.
Pretty much. They would give ChatGPT some basic info about their company,
Okay.
their products, their target audience, just the basics.
And then ChatGPT would take it from there.
Yeah, and craft these engaging, informative articles
Oh!
that match their brand voice.
So they didn't sound robotic or anything.
Not at all. The company was blown away by the quality of the content.
Really?
Yeah, it was like having a whole team of experienced copywriters,
But without the cost.
but without the cost. Exactly.
That's awesome.
I bet they were thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
But the question is, did it actually translate into results?
Right, that's what matters.
And the answer is a resounding yes.
That's great.
The best part was that ChatGPT could produce content way faster than any human writer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They were able to go from posting like once a month to twice a week.
Wow, that's a huge increase.
Their blog became a lead-generating machine,
That's what you want.
bringing in qualified prospects who are actually interested in their products.
So it's not just about traffic.
No, it's about the right kind of traffic.
The people who are actually going to convert.
Exactly. Okay, but they didn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
They also started using ChatGPT to create those social media updates,
Okay.
to keep their audience engaged,
Yeah.
sharing snippets from their blog posts, industry insights,
Okay.
even like behind-the-scenes glimpses of their company culture.
So they were really building a multi-platform content ecosystem.
Exactly. And their social media engagement went through the roof.
Wow, that's amazing.
They attracted new followers, started conversations.
It's all about building those relationships.
Exactly. And they built a loyal community around their brand.
That's the dream.
Okay, ready for another success story?
Hit me with it.
All right, so this time we have a B2B marketing agency,
Okay.
and they were drowning in client work,
I can imagine.
juggling multiple campaigns at once,
Right.
tight deadlines, demanding clients.
Yeah, that sounds stressful.
But they discovered that ChatGPT could be their secret weapon
Ooh, interesting.
for campaign management.
Okay.
They started using it to brainstorm campaign ideas,
Okay.
generate creative themes, catchy slogans.
So they were harnessing the creative power of AI.
Yeah, exactly. And once they had a solid campaign concept,
Right.
they would use ChatGPT to create a super detailed content calendar.
Wow, so it would outline like what content to post,
Yeah.
when to post it,
Mm.
even the tone and style.
It's like having a virtual project manager,
That's a great way to put it.
making sure all the pieces of the campaign are aligned.
I love that.
And as the campaign progressed,
Yeah.
ChatGPT tracked its performance,
Oh, that's cool.
providing the agency with real-time data on engagement, reach, conversions.
So they could see what was working and what wasn't.
Exactly. And make adjustments as needed.
That's so important.
So they had this constant data-driven feedback loop, allowing them to optimize their campaigns for maximum impact.
That's amazing. It's like having a marketing automation platform and a creative brainstorming partner all in one.
Right. It's pretty amazing what ChatGPT can do.
It really is.
And the agency was over the moon with the results.
Oh, I bet.
They could manage more campaigns at the same time, deliver better results for their clients,
That's what it's all about.
and most importantly, free up their team to focus on that high-level strategy and creative work.
That's the dream.
A win-win for everyone.
Absolutely.
And these are just two examples, but it's clear that B2B companies are seeing real success with ChatGPT.
Yeah, we're seeing similar success stories across all kinds of industries.
Healthcare, finance, manufacturing, you name it.
It's not just hype.
It's a powerful tool that's changing the game.
It's revolutionizing the way B2B companies are doing social media marketing.
And as AI technology keeps advancing,
Yeah.
who knows what the future holds?
It's an exciting time to be in marketing.
It really is. But for now, let's take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll dive into some key takeaways and discuss what this all means for B2B companies like yours. Welcome back to the show. We've spent this whole deep dive exploring how ChatGPT is shaking up the world of B2B social media,
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
from the theory to those real-world success stories.
I love hearing how companies are actually using this stuff.
Me too. But before we wrap things up,
Right.
let's take a minute to zoom out and talk about what it all means.
Okay, yeah. Big picture time.
What are the key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be thinking about?
I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is that ChatGPT isn't just about automation.
Right.
It's not about replacing humans.
So it's not about taking over our job.
No, not at all. It's about augmenting human capabilities.
Okay, I like that. Augmenting human capabilities.
It's about freeing us up to focus on the things that humans do best,
Strategy, creativity, building relationships.
Exactly. All those things that require, like, human ingenuity.
But I think it's also important to remember that ChatGPT is a tool.
Oh, absolutely.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad, right?
Right. It all depends on how we use it.
It's up to us to make sure we're using AI responsibly,
Ethically.
making sure it serves humanity.
Not the other way around.
So for those B2B companies out there who are just getting started with ChatGPT,
Yeah, they're probably feeling a little overwhelmed.
what's the best piece of advice you would give them?
My advice, don't be afraid to experiment.
Just jump in and play around with them.
Exactly. The possibilities are really endless.
So think about a specific challenge you're facing in your social media strategy.
Like, what's keeping you up at night?
Maybe it's content creation, maybe it's data analysis, whatever it is.
And then see how ChatGPT can help.
Right, see if it can offer a new solution.
And remember, ChatGPT is constantly evolving.
So we have to evolve with it.
Stay curious, keep learning, keep pushing the boundaries.
Well said. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of B2B, social media, and ChatGPT.
It's been fun.
We hope you've learned some new strategies and are feeling inspired to explore the power of AI.
It really can transform your business.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another exciting deep dive.